Hi guys, it's Dan Larson. So please meet
Yo.
the Tesseract guys. Okay, so before we go forward into the interview, I would like you guys to listen to a track that I made. Please listen to it and give an honest, in-depth, and technical review, okay?
Okay.
Please.
Sure. Let's go.
I think we can stop it here now.
Okay. It has 3 minutes.
Please give an honest review on this one, an honest feedback. How cool is this one, right?
I think it kind of sounded like our first takes with dubstep. But it has way cooler sound design than the one we did, because we were using like stock presets from harmless FL synths.
But I think our first tracks, dubstep tracks, were better than this because we had fruit limiter on with gain reduction about, I don't know, 6 dB or 12 dB. So it's like pumping. I think this effect is really nice. So yeah.
And sound goodizer, I guess.
I used it on every track.
Yeah, of course, yeah. On master, on bosses, on individual tracks and everything, I guess.
On master, I used 2 instances.
Of course, that's the advice I always give to newcomers, Okay, so please introduce yourself, guys. So tell us a little about yourself. How did your music career started, and stuff like this.
So we are Filip and Frank. We live in Poland. Our bank account number is one.
Take notes, guys. Take notes.
Okay. We live in Poland. We grew up in like musical family, so we went to school for 12 years.
To music school.
Music school.
I played violin for 12 years, and he played violin for 6 years, and double bass for another 6 years.
Yeah.
So we are kind of musical trained, but we decided to go more electronic music. And yeah, I think music school helped a little bit with harmonic and melodic stuff, and it helped a lot with tuning samples by ear. Yeah. So we grab a vocal and we can easily tune it into a key.
And I think our electronic music career was started by coincidence, because it started like Philip on his phone installed a MIDI app to write like musical notes.
Like
on sheet scoring.
And we were listening to a lot of blues music back then. Like Blues Brothers is our roots of everything.
I love them. I love them too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to just write some blues music, blues licks. I knew 3 chords back then, but it was enough. Like, yeah, it sounded terrible. It was just smashing notes by the piano. Yeah. And later our uncle, who is a musician and a violinist, he showed us FL Studio, like completely different DAW. And
like he said, guys, if you want to make music, here's the professional program, FL Studio.
All right.
It was way more professional than free apps on Android
Google
phone.
Yeah.
That's true. That's definitely true. Do you guys still see it that way? I mean,
Of
FL
course. I mean, yeah, it is, for me personally, I tried Ableton a little bit. He tried it more, but FL Studio is way easier and way more fun for me.
I mean, FL Studio is just state of mind. You know, if you just grow with FL Studio and you are used to FL Studio workflow, it's very hard to go to another DAW because every other DAW works similar, like one track, one mixer track, one channel, and FL Studio, you are so unorganized. But in a good way, because you can work really fast.
Yeah, the workflow is for me a lot faster in FL Studio because you can put everything anywhere and just focus on an idea. But if you want to organize it by yourself, you will be stuck with 125 mixer channels organized in random way. So yeah.
Yeah, it's very true in the opposite way because I tried FL Studio. I have installed FL Studio on my computer, but it just makes me a huge headache. This unorganization thing is just blows my mind.
But you know that I think from the update FL Studio 21 or 20, you can switch the playlist view to like one track, one assigned mixer channel, and one assigned this channel rack. So you have it's very similar to the other DAWs.
They are going on a more popular
view
way.
pattern. So I think it's nice for the people that are switching from Ableton to FL Studio, for example.
Probably. I'm not saying I will give it another shot, but I'm still an Ableton guy. I still love that app, but yeah, I get it that you guys find it a lot more helpful or more hands-on. Okay, so do you think that having a deep understanding of music theory is important for making music, especially in the style, neo hop or drum and bass, dubstep or whatever? Do you think that it is important or it's necessary?
I honestly think not at all. I think basic music theory, like just scales and basic tonality, is helpful, but you don't have to know all the classical music notation and all the classical music rules to make neuro, because it's completely different genre.
I think it's like a rabbit hole, because to some point learning a music theory, like classical music theory in music school, is really helpful, because you understand the musical things, how, for example, the melody should go, how naturally the melody should evolve, how patterns in the music should naturally evolve and talk to each other. I think it is very helpful when, for example, playing on an instrument, because you are playing on an instrument and it's very natural way of expression, musical expression.
Yeah.
So I think this could very help for writing music.
Yeah.
In the DAW, but from the other on the other hand, when you are too fixated on the harmony stuff and on the rules that are in the music, it is very limiting for me, I think.
Yeah.
So the balance here is, I think, the best way.
I think basic stuff is great to know, but you don't have to be after 6 years of music school to make amazing neuro stuff or amazing electronic music.
That's right. This is what I think too. But let me ask the same question in a little different way. Do you think it is important to stand out with deep musical theory? Because just one more sentence about this. All of the artists that I really look upon to, as I see, have very deep musical knowledge, including you guys.
I think this is the thing we have to ask ourselves what we look after in music, because if we like listening to music and making music which is very melodic in a specific way, maybe more music theory will help us. But for example, if we really like simple music focused on sound design, we don't have to know as much harmonic stuff and musical stuff.
Also, I think you said that the artists you like are having like deep knowledge about music. I think the knowledge comes naturally with experience, and the more you are creating music, the more you're listening and like talking with a lot of people from different genres, from different musical cultures, you gain all the knowledge and it just evolves naturally.
Yeah, so you can pick up a lot of knowledge during just experimenting and just really, as you said, making music. Yeah, that's very true. I truly agree. Okay, so which artists or bands have influenced you guys?
Which or how many?
Wolfpack, I would say. Like we gain a whole lot of inspiration from funk music, from rock and metal music, like especially funk. We grew up in musical family. Our dad were listening to funk, our uncle were listening to funk, and we are just all like funky guys. And you can hear a lot of funky grooves and funky licks in our every track, you know.
Yeah.
So I think Wolfpack, Cory Wong.
And from the electronic music side, I think it's of course Clan Sound. For me, Clan Sound, it's like I think one top 3 best artists. Clan Sound, I think, and couple more. Night Punk, for example, Boss Fight, but it's more like a vibe thing in electronic music, not like a technical stuff in electronic music.
We also started listening and started our journey with EDM and electronic music through NCS, No Copyright Sounds, and Monster Cat stuff. Yeah. So we are in love with like Monster Cat artists, like Pegboard Nerds,
Tristan, Boss Fight,
I don't know,
Stonebank,
Rogue, all that artists from that era, and our music is just a little bit from anything, you know,
of everything,
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I can hear your music that you guys really love funk, and the happy vibe, the groovy vibe always comes through. I love that. Yeah, and with the basses, I mean the acoustic. How is it called? It's not grand bass, not you know, the big
double bass.
Double bass, yeah.
Double bass, this one, yeah.
Yeah, the double bass. I hear it a lot in your music. I think it's you, Frank, who loves to play with it.
Yeah, because my wardrobe double bass is right here in the back.
Oh,
you can see it.
Oh, that's so cool. Can you show us, please?
Okay. Wait.
I can grab it.
I love that. Ooh, that's a massive one.
Remember, here is the camera.
I know. So yeah, when I'm home, I just take my bass, and I have my bass guitar in my other home in Warsaw, but here I have my double bass because it's really big, so it would be a pain in the ass to transport it, you know. But yeah, when I have some time, I just play something. Maybe if I have an idea for a track, for example, like last time I had idea for a Neurobreaks track that would be focused on this double bass sound. Like I can sample 2 or 3 sounds and it would be enough for me, like
being creative with them,
like 3 notes or so. Yeah, it's like a matter of experimenting, and I really love the organic texture of double bass. and how much expression I can take out from this instrument, because I can play with my bow. Like I don't have a bow right now. I can play pizzicato with my just fingers, and I can play like really high to imitate the cello. So, but with my bow. So it is very versatile instrument for me, and I really love it.
But on the other hand, me while playing violin, I can do really similar things. Lately, I started like playing funky bass lines pizzicato on my violin with a pitch shifter 2 octaves lower. So it sounded really similar to double bass. Also with some post-processing and like corrosion,
You will never replace my bass.
but it sounded really good, and the low end was pretty clear. So you can actually just play bass notes even on a violin.
One of my very earliest icon, a music producer guys, who is probably no name by now, but never mind. So he loved to layer lots of acoustic instruments like basses, cellos, violins, and other stuff. And he was able to create very interesting, very cool sounds that you probably would never be able to create using a synth. And what he was able to do with those, I mean, with an instrument or several instruments layered together, it was just awesome. So when I was listening to his tracks, I was always like, what is this? What kind of instrument is this? And also what you just said, Philip, frequency shifting a violin into a bass or even into anything is it's just a whole word. I love that. So this is exactly why I asked you guys about music theory, and being able to play an instrument is really necessary to stand out or being unique or something like that, because I think it is. And on the other hand, it is not. But, having your own sound, having your own tool, is just awesome.
The originality really comes from who we are and what we came from. We are just playing instruments, and this is our natural thing to do. And it's not something we do intentionally. It's just natural for us.
I think having a style is something like, don't be afraid to show people who you really are and what you really like. I think this is the thing, because funk music is very cringy very often, but we don't...
songs are about pancakes, making pancakes, or it's not anything, it's
the lyrics are not deep, for example, the lyrics about we just want to have a good time and we're singing, like something like this, and it's a funk track. I think it's very simple and very like energetic for me.
It's still better.
I will put this bass
cool. But honestly, these lyrics, you guys just mentioned in funk music, are a lot better than nowadays rap music lyrics. So
that is true. I mean, there is a lot of funk, meaningful funk out there. For example, sorry.
Okay.
There is a lot of meaningful funk out there. Cory Wong made. He's like combining funk music with a lot of emotional stuff, with orchestra. So funk is really versatile kind of music, and it's everywhere. It's in hip hop,
exactly.
It's in pop music, it's in drum and bass, it's in house music, in garage. So you can find funk everywhere, literally.
Exactly. Yeah, this is why I always find it weird when I talk to a guy and he says, or anybody can say this, but I don't really like one style. I just love EDM, or I just love drum and bass, and I hate others. I think that is just eating one food all your life. It's just not healthy in some way, especially
Yeah.
for your music. I think we can agree with this, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's like there's so much good stuff in the world. Why you
Yeah.
don't listen to it and explore other stuff? Just stick
Yeah.
to one thing. I can imagine you love one thing. For example, I really like hard techno, dark techno, one kick over and over again. But I hate everything else because it's not techno. For me, it is like, why?
I think people who say like that, it's more matter of like a social thing. They are really into, for example, techno because they are in a community of people who likes who like techno, and it's just matter of like meeting different people from different musical cultures, because there are some differences, like for example funk musicians are really different than metal musicians and I don't know, drum and bass producers, you know.
Yeah, but this is honestly narrow thinking, because just think it over, all the good music that we have today evolved from something. So for example, just let's take Skrillex from 2010 years, from the 2010s. He fused EDM with metal, I think, and with lots of other styles, even funk.
Yeah,
And it just created a whole world, a whole different universe in the music,
yeah, exactly.
music world. So this is why I think that even music theory, even being able to play an instrument, doesn't matter what it is, can, you know, open a whole new world and a whole new world of possibilities. And also our minds can be opened to by that. So I think this is why it is important. But on the other hand, it is not really important because we can create good music without that too. But I think this is always a little different when you put in something unexpected.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Cool.
I would like to add something. I think music is like so big part of someone's mind, like not mind, but like soul, that I think people who tell they like only, I don't know, sad songs, and they hate, for example, funk music because it's cringe to them. I think those people, like, they need sad songs, they need hard songs, they need this type of music because there's some part of them, like, we all have problems, you know, and we listen to music to get rid of some problems or to like help ourselves with our problems. So I think it's just a matter of like
Personal thing, what is good for a certain person.
yeah. And at this time I like techno and I hate everything else because techno helps me with something in my mind, you know. But yeah, it's like more
like a more emotional way of thinking of music. So
Yeah, I totally agree. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into the music world and more like into the music maker world. So, first of all, what do you think your main strengths and weaknesses in the music making process? What is the area that you guys think you should improve, for example?
So I think we can separate this to my problems and Philip problems, because together we are like symbiosis. Because for me, my problems in music making, I think, still is like focusing too much on the details and on the small things. And for example, if I make track, I have to make from the start every sound perfect. And for example, I have like 4-bar loop sounded perfectly and perfectly mixed, but I can't go anywhere further. But for example, Philip is really good at making sketches and making like overall arrangement things. And then I can go jump on the track and I can like polish everything.
Yeah, so I usually when I hear a loop or an idea he made, I already have vision for the whole track, for the second drop, from the breakdown, what vibe it should it be. But yeah, I would say I'm thinking like overall track, how overall track should sound like. And he's like polishing, filling the gaps with and gluing everything together. So I'm like thinking sketches.
Like Philip is making this
Scaffolding of the track.
yeah, Philip is making the scaffolding of the track, the skeleton of the track,
Yeah.
and I'm like making everything
Fill the gaps,
filling the gaps.
put something on that skeleton to make it even, I don't know, deeper, like texturized.
Yeah.
And this is how always you guys start a new track, or how does it work with you? Because it is easy for me because I'm alone. I always produce alone, but you guys are two guys. Okay.
So I think those are our strengths and our weaker stuff. But now we are living separately. I'm living in Warsaw, and Philip is here in Silesia. So we just have to make music on our own as well. So it's like now I think we're just giving mostly ourselves a feedback. For example, I'm starting a track and I'm finishing this track, but Philip gives me feedback all the time, and vice versa.
So for I think 3 or 4 months, it's more usually like that. Like I make one track from start to finish just with Frank's feedback, or just sometimes ignoring it completely. And he is making his own tracks from start to finish with my feedback. But sometimes it will look like I will start an idea, send it back to him, he will send it back to me, or I will start an idea and we will finish it when he comes to me or when I come to him. So yeah.
It's like really it's not one scheme, it's not one type of making of our making process. It's like,
but I think most of fans
most of fun sessions we had was like we were working together side by side. And I think the ideas were the best and the most fun, and we had the most fun because when there are two people in the same studio, we can just switch whenever one person would feel like stuck in the track. The second person already hears everything and thinks what I can add to it.
So you guys just switch laptop. So okay, hold my laptop, do something with it, and you do mine and stuff like this.
Sometimes we're just sitting together with in front of a speaker. Sometimes one Philip, for example, makes track. I go to eat breakfast. I don't know. And then with a fresh ear, I can come and hear what he have done and if he destroyed the track or not.
That's super interesting and could be super inspiring too. When we talk about producing, and probably it is more relatable when you guys are alone, so not together in the studio. How do you separate sound design and arrangement and musical stuff? So do you guys separate these steps at all? Or just go forward and sometimes you use loops or create your own synth sounds, just go with the flow? Or do you have this kind of workflow?
So from my point of view, I sometimes have like some design sessions. Just I have an idea. What if I put this plugin with this plugin, and what will happen? And like,
what if I morph double bass with a Reese bass?
For example. And like it's like some design session. I'm making long, bass tracks or something with sounds, and I will save them. but most of the time, I think we are sound designing when we are making music.
Yeah, on the go while we are creating the track, because I think usually for us it's much more inspiring and more fun to do, I think.
But it also depends from everything, because when, for example, I recently made a nice sound design session with nice sounds, then I just go to a blank project and put some sounds on the grid, and maybe I will start something interesting from just samples.
Yeah.
So it's really nice and fast way to work as well.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. Yeah, sometimes I just lost in the world of sound design, you know. I love to make new sounds, exciting sound. This is why my channel is called Let's Synthesize, because that is what always made excitement for me. It's just sit down. It doesn't matter if it's a synth or a granular synth, or just record a new sound, transpose it, adding distortion, oddity, or whatever. But sound designing is what my main interest, I guess. This is why I asked you guys. So, but going with the flow, I think, is what really about, you know, this is what make music is really about. Just, you know, having fun.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right. So how do you know if a sound is good enough? Because we're talking about sound design now. So how do you know? I talk to a lot of guys, and they enjoy making new sounds too. But sometimes they just don't know if a sound is good for a track. I mean, if they are sounding good enough, those sounds that they just made, or they need to ditch it. This is more a little into the technical side of things right now, I guess. But you know, how do you guys know if you made a new sound or even a new track that it is good enough, or just you need to completely just throw it into the trash?
It's a really hard question, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's a matter of thinking, not how the sound, if the sound is good enough, but when the sound is good enough. I mean, we can always make a sound and a song sounding better. It's like a matter, is listener going to care if we like make some one little adjustment, so from the second one sound in the track appearing in the track will sound a little bit better. I think it's just a matter of
context. What role does specific sound have in a track? So, for example, I don't know, main bass is important to have like interesting or just really massive main bass, but other stuff like, I don't know, stabs or some fillers aren't necessarily as important. For example,
I mean, everything depends, because they are important in terms of arrangement. But for example, in terms of mixing, like if you will have one filler bass louder a little bit than the main bass, I think it won't be an issue that much if you would turn the volume down for I don't know, 2 decibels. Because the sound is here, and it doesn't matter if it is a little bit louder or a little bit quieter.
Okay, we are rowing into the mixing area of waters. So
it's really hard to tell, and
it's really, because it's just usually matter of taste if you like that sound or not. But if you listen to it for too long, you will lose objectivity.
Exactly. This is why I asked. This is exactly why I asked you guys. Yeah. So what do you do then? You take a break, or you start listen to a funky music like Blues Brothers to refresh your ears. Do you have any tricks like these?
We have an advantage that there is two of us. So when I'm making a track and I send it to him, he will say, "Yo, this main bass it's really weak. It's really like so obvious and so boring. You should change it." But for me, it's perfect. But yeah, we usually just take something in between, what I think should work and what he thinks should work, and we just go in the middle.
Yeah, but the fresh air I think really helps because, for example, I can relate to when I'm making intros for my tracks because we usually start with drops, making drop, and then we are making the intro and the build up. It's the always we've been making music. It's quite easy for us, and I can catch myself on like making intros too complicated and too like complicated and not like
In the vibe?
not in the vibe, but not like catchy intros. I'm making too complicated and not catchy intros. Like there's a lot of everything, but there's no one sound that is leading to something. And often when I just make a sketch of an intro really fast, because for example I will go somewhere and I have to end making music, but I want to make an intro, I'll make something quickly, and then when I listen to it on my headphones a couple hours later, this is like 90% done for me. But if I would stay in the studio and make the intro, if, for example, when I will have more time, I think I could overcomplicate this intro and make it like too big or too like too overcomplicated.
Yeah, but both words can be really exciting. So having a really simple lead, a catchy lead with minimal musical surroundings, minimal instrumentals. But also at the other hand, it could be really interesting to have a huge band of like massive instruments, millions of little instruments, like little ear treats. It does not really always necessary to have a strong lead when you have a whole word to dive deep into. And when you listen to it 1,000 times, you still find something new in it. So I think both words can be really interesting. So what was the longest time, or what is the average time that you guys can finish a track? So how much time does it take for you guys, mainly in average?
It really depends. It's really hard to tell because there are some projects that are work in progress for a year or so. And there are some projects that I literally made in 2 weeks or a couple days.
2 days.
I usually I can make like the whole sketch and the whole arrangement and like 90% of a track in 2 days or 3 days. But it still misses that 10%, which usually he adds.
And the 10% is like I'm adding it for more days or more weeks, but it really depends how much breaks I have in between. It's like, for example, I don't know, I have 2 days in a week when I can make music. Sometimes it's more. But I think our longest projects were like for a year or more. Like in the 90% finished version, but we never had time and I don't know, we never
energy and inspiration and motivation to finish it. Heat Punk was the one we worked for a really long time.
Because I think we had troubles with mix down on the metal breakdown, like to mix the metal drums and guitars to make it sound cohesive with the electronic drop. And not weak, but powerful, but not as powerful as the drop. It was really hard to make. And and the snare on the drop, I remember we had really issue to mix, to make it organic, powerful, big, boomy, but not sounding like
a sine wave going up and down.
How do you guys fix this issue? To match the intro and the drop, because I work with lots of beginners, and like most of them have this problem all the time. When they got to the drop, they lose energy that they build up in the intro and the build up. They build up and tension, but they lose it in the drop. So when you run into this issue, how do you fix it?
I would say that if you made amazing intro and amazing build-up, which builds hype, it's usually don't be afraid to add more on the drop, or like distort sounds on the drop, or make them louder or make layers on the drop. Don't be afraid to like beef up the drop instead of taking away from the build-up, because if you have build-up that builds energy really well, the track will get the track will get more benefit when you will beef up the drop instead of take away from the build-up. So
I often catch myself making the intro and the build-up heavier than the drop, and then I usually just take out some things from the build-up. It's like I'm the opposite of Philip. Philip adds to the drop, but I take out from the build-up. But I think it's just matter of experience. Which elements to take, which elements to bring up to perfectly match the energy build to the drop. So it depends, but I think the tip Philip said, I think it's like more straightforward, and I think it could be more beneficial for more people. I didn't think about it,
especially with beginners. From my experience, when I was a beginner and I was making like future house and tropical house, the lack of energy came from muddiness in the low end and not having like how to say that, not having clear, powerful elements on the drop. Like everything was glued together, and there wasn't like main thing that had its energy. The bass was kind of good, but it wasn't really like in your face. Or the kick drum
sonically the drop was different than the intro.
As well. Right?
Okay.
It's like depends on everything, because it's so many so many different things that could change, that you could like tweak to make something work or not.
Okay, I think we already discussed a little, or just reached this area a little, but how do you guys mix your songs? Because that is, again, a huge area that most of the guys have trouble with. You build up a cool song, but it just does not sound great. What do you do? How do you mix? Do you even mix your songs? Or when when you mix your songs, you create a separate project with stems, so you stems mix? Or so what do you do? What's your workflow?
Stem mixing in FL Studio was never a great idea, so we never do this. We are mixing on the fly when we are producing.
So
it's like we are making a good sketch, and we are mixing it a little bit to feel how this would sound like finished, and like we are making putting those little bricks of making new things in arrangement, mixing new things, mixing new things, mixing, and it's like it's our part of sound design and music making, I think. But the biggest thing in music will always be the energy, the musical thing, and the arrangement. And no matter how good mixdown you will have, the musicality will be always on top.
It will be always more important.
Because, for example, I'm trying to fix an energy. For example, something in my drop doesn't have enough energy, and I'm trying to bring the energy
through mixdown,
not through arrangement and the musicality of this track. For example, to switch completely different sound, or make more like energetic melody, more harmonically something more having more tension to release after.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to make this with mix down and with sound design, and very often it's like matter of putting right notes harmonically, rhythmically, and musically.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I do too. But most of the guys just mix up or mess up with recording stuff and mixing stuff. So, for example, you guys, what Josh said, they created a cool bass line that sounds bad actually. But when they listen to it the next time, they think that, okay, this will be great. This will sound great when I mix it. But that is not true. So this is So you can't really fix a bad sounding, a bad recorded or a bad designed bass in a mixing stage with like EQs and compressors and reverbs or whatever you want to use. It is a lot easier to just create a sound, make the sound fat and wide and aggressive during the sound design process. And you don't need to worry too much about mixing later. So this is what most of the guys really mess up and don't think about, that creating a new sound and mixing them later are two separate things that they don't really need to be separate.
Yeah. I would say in bass music, in electronic music, there is a really short gap between sound designing basses and mixing them. Because when you are sound designing, you are also like mixing it, because I don't know, if you have a Reese bass that is taking a lot of high frequencies, you can just literally make it more deep through sound design, not through mixing.
Yeah. For example, if you have a track and it lacks of high end, you can make a bass knowing that you have to make a bass that has a lot high end and nice high end. So later, like it's like mixing real instruments. You are not making a track from, I don't know, 100 double basses which are playing chords in the sub area, because it will not sound good.
Yeah,
you have to spread the instruments through the whole spectrum, and in every music is like that. So sound designing is important to like think about the
you're literally just creating an instrument that will play in your orchestra. So you decide if you create 100 of double basses that play chords and melodies, and you decide if you make like 3 double basses, some violins, some brasses, and some like percussions. You're like creating these instruments that play for you. So if you create the right instrument, right instruments, it will be easier for you to mix it.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I think too. It's a thoughtful process, so you need to think a little further. What's the purpose of the sound that you are making? Not just randomly throw it in. So that just makes our life a lot easier later. Okay, cool. So let's talk about your music career, because you guys do a lot of giggings and stuff like this. So what are the biggest challenges that you face as a music producer, or a performer, or as a DJ?
I think as a music producer is like to not stick to the trends. I mean, like to have this inner child who is making stuff that I personally like, and I don't care if I don't go with the trends of music or not. Because I think every artist can like fall into this rabbit hole of making music for people that will sell good, and not making music for ourselves that we like. And for the short period of time, it's like it's dopamine, because people like your tracks, you have money from your tracks. But if you would make this for a long time, I think making not what you like will destroy you. So it's the hardest thing, because I want to make something like, I want to make a drum and bass track so I can, I don't know, convince people that I can make drum and bass music as well, something like this. But don't make something I'm turning this out into advice.
Yeah, but
Advice for myself, you know, like don't make something that you don't make something that you hate.
yeah, but the
This is
problem is that
the
labels encourage you to create something that is on trends now and not
yeah.
really what is inside of you. And that is a
And
yeah, that is a big problem that lots of guys face.
and I think because in this world, the world is very like hostile to everyone, and you just have to adapt. So I think our way of adapting is like making, for example, one genre, for example, drum and bass music,
Yeah.
for one label which is drum and bass, and for the whole drum and bass scene. But we are influencing the whole drum and bass genre with our style.
Yeah.
So our drum and bass sounds like drum and bass, but also like us.
Yeah. So, for example, I don't know, there is a lot of like deep dubstep stuff, like 140 dub, original dubstep. So we also made couple tracks in that style because we just simply like it, and with that in mind that it's really on top right now. But you know, we put a lot of funk into it. So for example, you have like deep dub with funk elements, with funk bass slides, and you can hear it's deep dub. It's like modern sound that's on top right now, but you can also hear that we made it. Or I don't know, we made drum and bass neurofunk tracks, but we made halftime second drop, or I don't know, some dubstep basses in between, or we sampled funk instruments. So yeah, you can really put your vibe into any genre. You just have to be
Confidence.
confidence.
Cool, yeah. So yeah, I know a lot of guys that have problems, and it looks like you guys don't have this problem that, you know, bringing yourself, because I've been there honestly, that I made a cool track and they said, oh, this is not really our style, this is not really trendy. For example, talking about drum and bass, this track does not have frog bass in it, so everybody is into frog bass. But I hate frog basses. I don't want to make frog basses. I just want to make my style. And probably you guys never had these issues. I guess it's because you found the best label for that you want to work with.
Honestly, we had those issues, but it's like a way of compromise. Like you have a track, a label, for example, says it's like too funky. We want something more dark, so we make something dark, but still we have some funky elements, but in a dark way.
Yeah.
It's like we're putting everything to work, but we still don't want to let go our style.
If you want us to make a dark track, we will make a dark track, but with funk in it.
Yeah.
Like, and it will work because like funk is what we love, and it has to work if you want us to make a dark music, you know.
So it's like a way of thinking how to combine the things we like with the things people want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your advice to aspiring producers is still stick to yourself, but always be prepared for sacrifice. Well, not sacrifices, but more like compromising
opportunities
and compromises too, right?
Yeah.
This is actually important because we talk a lot about being yourself and just stick to your style, what you like. Don't burn out. But on the other hand, it is important to being able to release your tracks too, because we're working with labels and other guys too that have their own properties. Yeah,
that's why we are releasing a lot of stuff on our own without any labels, because the music that we make is really versatile and it doesn't really fit to any style, any modern style at all. We have a lot of drum step, halftime stuff that isn't necessarily like mainstream bass music, but we still want to release it because it's just our pure energy, our pure vibe, and we want to release all the pure music from us, to later release some tracks that are more mainstream,
but people can know that we don't make like only one genre. We always have been making a lot of genres, and we want to know. We want our audience to know that we are not sticking to one genre. You know, it's like building this thing from the beginning, and building this like
community kind of.
This vibe from the start.
Yeah.
What are your plans for 2025, for the next year? Do you have any plans? Do you have some goals that you want to reach? And what are those?
I think playing more shows, which will be... we will play more shows, and the next year I think will be more drum and bass and dubstep focused. Like pure drum and bass, not halftime. I mean, halftime as well, but more like drum and bass and dubstep, I think.
Yeah, because we already have quite a big plans, and I know 2025 will be our biggest year. I hope so. So yeah, we have a lot of plans, and we just hope to make them.
Make them happen.
Do you guys want to make an album for the next year?
We have an EP coming out next year, but we have so much music. We could release an album, but it's not beneficial at all for such a small artists like us. I think like promoting albums, it's really hard right now. So it will be better to release EPs or singles instead of full albums. But making an album would be really fun. Fun stuff.
I think we will definitely make a debut album, but in the future, when we will have like
a platform to release it on, and that we know people will listen to from start to finish, and appreciate it.
Yeah,
because I think if I would have to release an album, I would like to release it as a story, like whole album is a story. To listen to this album from start to finish, not just like couple bangers released together.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. I'm asking this because I see that albums come back. So in the last 10 years or even 15 years, nobody made albums, only EPs. But as I can see it, it is coming back. So more and more people, as I can see it, more and more people release albums too, not only EPs or singles. So this is why I asked you guys. And I hope one day, sooner than later, you guys will release that album, because I'm really curious what you guys can put together. Okay, so quick questions for the end. Ableton or FL? Stupid question, I know. FL, obviously. Okay. Old Trash 2 from Isotope or new Trash?
We have never updated to new Trash 2, so we still use old one.
Yeah. I'm on that side too. I never tried the new Trash. It's just never brought excitement to me. Okay, so
it's more trash.
Yeah. Garbage. So, Trash 2 or garbage? It wasn't nice from me. Okay, so OTT or traditional compressor and EQ?
Soundgoodizer.
I would go with traditional EQ and compressor, but it depends, because OTT is really nice as well.
Yeah, but it can...
I would say OTT.
Yeah, but OTT can bring issues too. So it can bring good results, but also problems that you need to fix, or we need to fix. Yeah, okay. Or simple EQ or complex, chaotic EQ for sound design? With huge peaks and dips, or just you guys go with very simple, very light EQing. So what's your workflow?
I think complex is more frequent when we are sound designing. So
I see. That's me too. I'm guilty in that area too. I see lots of memes that on the right side, for example, you see a huge, like, really chaotic EQ curve, and on the left side there is a simple one, and people tend to say that you need to go with the left one, with the simple EQ. But for mixing and even for mastering, it's really true. But for sound design, you can create awesome sounds with crazy EQ curves, especially before distortions and compressors and stuff like this. So for sound design, I'm really glad that you guys love to go crazy with EQing too, because especially for neuro, it's just essential. Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys love to use more MIDI or audio, or keep your tracks more in MIDI or in audio?
I think it's like 50-50.
Why?
I think yes. It's the way of workflow. In MIDI is like different, because you have one sound that you can tweak. For example, one bass in MIDI you can tweak on the fly, but when working with audio, you can like sound design things differently and arrange things differently, and like work with audio differently, pitch up, pitch down, like reverse, like I don't know, format shift.
Some projects are focused more on audio samples, and some projects are focused more on MIDI sound design in plugins.
Yeah. And also some things you cannot really do in MIDI that you can do in audio, and the opposite. Okay, so Serum or Vidal?
Serum.
Okay, Serum or Phase Blend?
Serum.
Okay, Serum or Current?
Serum.
This is getting boring. Okay, Serum or Citrus?
Serum.
Serum or Harmor?
Serum.
Yes.
Okay, let's finish this one.
Our projects are 90% of Serum when we are working with synths. So it's like Serum, and then some like samplers or like contact stuff, or like something else for like musical instruments. But if we are working with a synthesizer, we're like 100% Serum.
Oh, that's interesting, because lots of really cool instruments just came out in this year, or the previous years. Like, for example, my personal favorite at the moment is Phase Blend. It's just sounding so strong.
I mean, we are trying different things, but we are so stick to the workflow with Serum that we're like, it's our number one always. I use different synth, for example, when I want to experiment something, to like explore. But if I have something in my mind, I just use Serum because I know it's excellent.
Yeah, inside and out. Okay, so separate sub or the instrument's own sub?
Instrument own sub.
I think instrument own sub. More usually we use sub from the like original bass.
Yeah, that is what I prefer too. To keep the articulations in the sub.
Yeah, it's like more organic way with sub, and
exactly.
I like it more.
Yeah. Okay, so FL EQ or Pro Q3 or Pro Q4? It just came out.
Pro Q3.
Pro Q3, yeah. It's just better.
It's very true. Have you guys tried Pro Q4?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe I have plans, but I like hadn't time to sit on it and try it out yet.
Yeah, the hype is huge around that. Okay, favorite reverb? I guess it's not the FL Studio one.
The FL Studio one, I use it sometimes to like simple stuff or sound design stuff, or when I'm making rhythm, because it sounds really metallic and it isn't clean at all. But I think we use Pro VRR most frequently, and Raum reverb.
Cool.
And Valhalla Room.
Valhalla Room, yeah.
That
These
is what.
three.
Yeah, that is what everybody uses,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. Okay. Favorite phaser?
Phaser. I think from the filter section of Serum.
I think
Phasers.
Yeah, Serum phaser is the one I use most of the times because I know how it sounds like, and it's easy for me to imagine the sound with it. But I don't really use other phasers than that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting because there are really good phasers out there that,
Yeah.
that you can drop like after the process of Serum. So if you have Serum and 10 different effects, then you can drop really cool and unique sounding phasers too. I thought you guys have something in your pocket.
I know that I used before a phaser in Ableton. It's really nice. I really like it, but yeah, it's in Ableton, so
Yeah, it's not for FL. Okay, and the last one, soft clipping or limiting?
hard clipping.
Hard clipping. Understandable.
Yeah.
Right, cool. So these were great answers. I really enjoyed listening to them. And I would like to ask you guys to create something that you can in 10 minutes, if it is possible.
Okay, so we will also communicate in Polish language because it will be faster for us. So yeah, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, check out if the browser works.
Initial D.
Okay, it works. So what? Go.
What?
Go.
No. Okay.
Go.
So we think we can make
Nie gadaj, rób.
a halftime track. So kick, snare, our synthesizer snares. Let's go. Let's go.
Alright.
Okay.
Shaker.
Go with shakers.
Oh.
Kashmir shaker. Or this one, okay. Go, swing something. Make us
Wait.
Okay, go. Now with a bass, maybe. Maybe square wave bass with band pass. And distortion.
You don't have to say twice. Square wave. I would make a wob.
Okay.
I have a riff in my mind. Oh no, it's loading.
Reverb to add more width and more, I don't know,
Stereo field.
decapitate the sound more distortion.
Oh, not that. but I'm just...
Less distortion. Less distortion. Oh, okay.
It's kind of cool, but yeah. The sub is really dirty, but we don't care. Make a long sustain note on the downbeat.
What key? E, okay. So I'm putting some harmonics and
Don't talk, just do it.
noise. Organic. With some high pass.
You've got 6 minutes left.
Sign.
Okay. Because you're digging into the sound design. What about something like that?
Distort this even more.
Let's see.
Fuck sidechain, no.
Louder.
Sounds like shit.
Not this one. This one. Funky basy gdzie są? Funky basy gdzie są? Slapy.
Napisz slap. A masz te moje? Te co?
G.
Can I? Check.
We have
Okay.
to delay the notes a little bit. Wheel up.
Use something from my sound design sessions just. Everything that
The snare is awful, but yeah.
my snare is awful.
Yeah. I don't know. UK grime stuff.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that.
Let's go.
I wouldn't go with vocals.
Skepta.
You
Yeah.
Ripped vocals from YouTube.
From YouTube.
classic. Skepta, boy, better know. 2010, doing it again. Done, no million views. West. Yo,
Yo.
listen. All right then. Yo.
Na predroblej to yo i listen.
Yo. Oh.
The trash.
Oh. Oh.
We don't have much time left. Just 2 minutes left.
2 minutes.
Oh. 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 Oh.
Louder.
Okay, okay.
1 minute left.
Oh.
Okay. We have to replace the snare for a clap or more. This one.
Oh.
Quick side chain. Not this one.
You're not
no,
this FL Studio.
Not this FL Studio.
This.
Oh
Here,
God.
here.
Side chain. Quickly.
30 seconds.
The same shape for kick and snare.
Go, go, go.
Okay.
Yo.
What a trash. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. He just freezed. No. Oh. That's it. You don't.
Yo.
Okay. So this is the final result.
Yo.
The wheel up is in key with the siren.
I would go here and like make this quieter. And
You can't edit it anymore.
Okay,
You can't.
okay, shut up. Shut up, man.
Yo.
Okay. Like.
Oszukujesz, typie.
Sounds
oszukujesz.
shitty. Yeah, but we can add some follies, you know, and mix it down, and
yeah.
it will be a banger track.
It will be a banger track.
Called, yeah.
Yo.
Yo.
Look out.
Yo.
Just rumble.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Let's render it.
Yeah, thank you guys for the interview. I really enjoyed that too. I really love your music, and especially it's really an awesome thing that you said before the interview that I was able to inspire you with my tutorials previously.
Yes.
It's an honor, honestly, to inspire such great artists that you are, like, guys. So thank you for the interview, and I wish the best for 2025 for you. And,
Thank you so much.
I thank
And
you.
to you as well.
Oh, thank you.
Wishing you all the best. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you. This was Tesseracts, and see you guys next time. Peace.
See you.